The christening reception was in full swing, but the sharp edge of Margaret's voice cut through the chatter like a blade.
Honestly, everyone, let's raise a glass to Anna, the hardest working paper pusher in the government. She could have been something, but I guess stamping forms is all she's good for.
Anna stood by the window, a glass of wine untouched, her expression as still as the stained glass behind her.
Look at her, so modest. Not everyone needs ambition, right? Some people are just happy pushing the same paper for 20 years.
Let her talk. Words cost nothing, and I've heard worse.
You know, Anna, if you just applied yourself, maybe you'd have a real career. Instead, you are practically invisible.
Margaret, come on. Let's just enjoy the day. It's about the baby.
Oh, lighten up, Anthony. Anna knows I am just teasing. She's used to it.
Teasing. That's what they call it. I call it the reason I stopped telling them anything that matters.
The room filled with forced laughter, but a cold undercurrent settled beneath the pleasantries. Something was about to change. Margaret drifted closer, her smile sharp as a blade, and her next words landed like a slap.
That suit, Anna, you've worn it every family event for years. Doesn't the government pay you enough to buy something new?
This suit has traveled to the Vatican. It's seen more diplomacy than this whole room combined.
And no husband, no kids. At your age, maybe if you'd focused on a real career instead of hiding in a cubicle.
Margaret, that's enough. We're here for the baby, not for this.
Oh, I am just being honest. Everyone here knows it. Your own mother always said Anna would never measure up.
Anna's jaw tightened, a single muscle twitching, then smoothed into careful stillness. The room held its breath.
She doesn't know what our mother really said to me. She never will. And that's my choice.
Margaret's smile widened, sensing victory. The guests exchanged nervous glances, but no one spoke.
See? She can't even defend herself. It's sad, really. A life wasted on nothing. Cheers to that, everyone.
When the attention shifted, Anna slipped to a small table by the coat racks, out of the spotlight.
Thought you could slip away? I need you to hear this from me. You are a drain on this family, and everyone agrees.
Anna's fingers tightened around the wine glass stem until her knuckles went white.
Drain. Burden. Parasite. She's used them all before. Why does it still sting?
A couple by the dessert table overheard, their glances sharp with discomfort before they turned away.
You don't even argue. That's how I know you believe it too.
Anna merely inclined her head, a gesture of polite agreement, as if Margaret had praised the floral arrangements.
Give her nothing. She feeds on reaction, and I am not on the menu today.
Margaret waited, then huffed and stalked back to the crowd, her heels clicking with irritation.
The silence she left behind was louder than any insult. And in that quiet, something in me hardened.
The main door swung open, and a tall man in a black suit and Roman collar stepped inside, his eyes scanning the room with quiet authority.
Who's that? I didn't invite any more clergy.
The chatter died. Guests turned. Forks paused mid-air as the man's presence commanded silence.
Does he want something? Maybe it's for the caterers.
That's no caterer's request. That's the walk of a man who carries authority like a second coat.
The envoy surveyed the room, his gaze methodical, as if looking for a specific face among the crowd.
Well, whoever he's looking for, it's certainly not her. She doesn't know anyone important.
But her voice lacked its earlier confidence. A thin crack had formed in her certainty.
I know that seal on his portfolio. He's from the Vatican, and he's not here for the hors d'oeuvre.
The room hung on a single, unasked question. Why had the Holy See sent a man to this quiet Boston parish? The envoy stepped forward, his voice calm but resonant, carrying to every corner of the hall.
I am looking for the special envoy.
Margaret let out a sharp laugh, then thrust her finger toward the young man arranging hors d'oeuvre.
You want the help? He's the only special we've got, unless you are collecting for the poor. Anna over there might have some spare change.
Lorenzo followed the gesture, his face impassive, then turned back with deliberate calm.
No, Senora. I am here for the diplomatic representative of the United States. Her presence is required urgently by the Holy See.
The room froze. A collective intake of breath, then muffled exclamations rippled through the crowd.
I knew this was coming. What I didn't know was how it would feel to watch them learn.
Anthony stepped back, his brow furrowed as guests exchanged bewildered glances, whispers rustling like dry leaves. And in the center of the silence, the real question still hung unanswered. Who was she? Lorenzo stopped before the woman in the charcoal suit and bowed, a gesture of deep respect that silenced the last whispers.
Special Envoy Delaney, His Holiness requests your immediate presence regarding a humanitarian negotiation of the highest delicacy.
He placed a cream envelope into her hand, the Vatican seal dark against the paper. Anna broke the seal, scanned the lines, and gave a single nod. Her face betrayed nothing but years of practiced control.
Anna, what is this? Why is the Vatican calling for you?
I'll explain later. Right now, I have to go.
She turned back to Lorenzo, and when she spoke, her voice was ice that left no room for argument.
I'm ready.
Margaret's mouth opened, but no sound came. The wine glass in her hand trembled, a stain spreading on the tablecloth. The room held its breath, the air thick with the unspoken. Nothing would ever be the same.
That's absurd. She's a desk clerk, a nobody who stamps forms. This is some kind of sick joke.
Lorenzo turned, his expression hardening for the first time. The stillness in the room became absolute.
Signora, you are mistaken. Miss Delaney is the United States Special Envoy to the Holy See, appointed 2 years ago by the President himself.
The words fell like stones into still water. Anthony's eyes widened, his lips parted.
The Vatican has formally requested her by name. This is not a joke. It is a matter of international urgency.
Anthony's gaze shifted to his sister, seeing for the first time the woman he had never truly known.
Number? No, you are lying. She can't be. I would have known. I would have known.
But her voice cracked, the denial hollow even to her own ears, and for once, no one looked away.
2 years of silence, and now the truth detonates. Let them choke on their own disbelief.
The guests stood motionless, the chasm between the Anna they'd dismissed and the envoy's revelation too vast to bridge. Anna paused, turning back to Anthony. Her expression was granite, but her voice, when she spoke, held a rare, fleeting softness.
I'm sorry I couldn't tell you, Anthony. I'll explain when I can.
Then she faced Margaret, her gaze as cold as the Vatican marble she would soon know intimately.
Excuse me?
She followed Lorenzo through the sea of stunned guests, her heels clicking a steady, unforgiving rhythm.
Anna, wait. You can't just leave.
Anna didn't pause. The heavy door swung shut behind her. The sound final, outside. A black sedan idled, its diplomatic plates gleaming under the late sun. The driver opened the door, and Anna slipped inside, her face unreadable. Back inside, the reception shattered into murmurs and averted eyes. Margaret stood alone, her empire of scorn reduced to ash and sputtering fury. As the guests scrambled for their coats, Margaret tried to reframe the disaster, her voice frantic.
It's not what it seems. She kept secrets from us, from her own family. Who does that?
Hours later, in the Delaney living room, Margaret's voice cracked with fury.
She humiliated me on purpose. She let me look like a fool in front of everyone.
Maybe she was tired of you humiliating her. For years. Maybe this is on you.
Margaret froze, her mouth still open, the truth hanging between them like a blade. Her phone dinged. A friend had sent a link. The Boston Globe article filled the screen. Anna shaking hands with the cardinal. Headline, praising her diplomatic role. Margaret's shock hardened into a calculating gleam, her mind already spinning a new narrative. Anthony watched her, the last shreds of his loyalty dissolving into weary recognition. 2 days earlier, in a Vatican meeting room, Anna was not a target of mockery. She was the architect of a lifeline.
The final draft secures safe passage for medical workers through the border corridor. If this holds, thousands survive.
Maps covered the table, the conflict zone marked in red, a list of the fallen beside it.
8 months of negotiations, sealed in this very room, and my family thinks I stamp forms.
A cardinal across the table nodded, tracing aged fingers along the proposed corridor.
The Holy Father is grateful. Envoy Delaney, your persistence has been extraordinary.
I don't need gratitude. I need signatures. The current ceasefire won't hold another week.
She remembered the day 2 years ago, accepting this appointment before the president, vowing silence to protect the mission.
I chose silence because the work mattered more than their opinions. And I was right.
That silence had been a fortress. Now, with the deal complete, she would step out of it forever. In the Delaney living room, Margaret's thumbs tapped out a message with poisonous satisfaction. The glow of the screen sharpening her smirk. The post read, "So proud of my sister-in-law. We always knew she was destined for great things." Anna Delaney was tagged.
She's not going to like that. Margaret, you are making it worse.
She'll thank me when the likes roll in. It's good PR for the family.
In her Washington apartment, Anna's thumb hovered over her phone screen, then descended with cold finality. The screen flashed. Margaret Delaney blocked. The cord was cut. Hours later, Margaret refreshed her page, expecting a flood of praise, but the silence was deafening.
What? She blocked me. She blocked me.
A scream tore through the house, raw and splintered, the sound of a woman who had just realized no one was listening. In the silence that followed, a line had been drawn that could never be erased. Anna sat alone in her minimalist apartment, the distant city lights pulsing beyond the window, when her phone buzzed with a single voicemail. Anthony's voice, unsteady. "Anna, I am so sorry. I should have stood up for you. Please call me."
He sounds broken. Good. Maybe now he sees the cost of standing by while I was picked apart.
She stared at the screen for a long moment, then set the phone face down on the coffee table, severing its digital plea. Her gaze drifted to an old photograph on the shelf. A younger Anna and Anthony, smiling before the silence took root.
I sent them money every month while they laughed at my letters. They cashed the checks and left the words unread.
The photo stared back, innocent and damning. She picked it up, her thumb resting on his younger face.
I wanted to believe you were different, Anthony. But you let her do it. Every single time.
She tapped her phone. The voicemail icon dissolved, deleted, along with any illusion that a simple apology could mend this. In the reflection of the dark window, she saw not the overlooked sister, but a woman forged in silence, and that woman wasn't ready to answer. 2 days later, Anna picked up her phone and dialed a number she had nearly deleted forever.
Anthony, it's me. I am ready to talk.
On the other end, Anthony's breath hitched, his voice frayed with weeks of remorse.
Anna, thank God. I am so sorry. I've been a coward, and I know it.
I forgive you for not speaking up. But I need you to hear me clearly. I will not be around Margaret again. If you want a relationship with me, it has to be without her.
Silence stretched, then a choked sob as Anthony found his voice.
I understand. I do. I've been a coward for years. I'll do whatever it takes to make this right.
They talked for an hour, voices softening, bridging years of silence with cautious honesty. When they hung up, a fragile truce hung in the air, uncharted, uncertain, but for the first time, real. Anna stood before her desk, the old family photograph upright beside her diplomatic credentials.
I remember the day the president handed me the portfolio. Pride, then the cold certainty they would mock it.
In that room, she had stood alone, already knowing no family celebration would follow.
I wanted to call them, but I saw Margaret sneer, Dad glance away, so I locked the achievement inside.
Silence became her armor, not out of shame, but preservation.
Every negotiation, every life saved, was proof they didn't deserve my truth.
She picked up the family photo, the happy faces now foreign artifacts.
I don't regret it. Not a single day of silence. It let me do the work that mattered.
With deliberate care, she laid the frame face down on the desk, severing the last tether. The weight of their approval lifted, and in its place was something far heavier. Peace. At a church coffee hour, Margaret reached for a friend's arm, but the woman stepped back as if burned.
I don't understand. Why is everyone acting like I've done something wrong?
At home, she opened Facebook to find a pitiful harvest. 0 likes on her post, and a comment, "How desperate can you be?" The letter from the women's club arrived that afternoon, crisp and formal. Her membership was revoked due to conduct unbecoming.
This is your fault. You should have fixed things with Anna. You never defend me.
I've done nothing but defend you for years. And look where it's gotten us. Look in the mirror, Margaret.
He grabbed his coat from the hook, his movements sharp and final.
I need space. I can't breathe with you blaming everyone else for what you broke.
The door slammed, and Margaret was alone with the wreckage of her own legacy.
He left me. Everyone's leaving. Anna, Anthony, even the club. But I am the victim here, aren't I?
In the Vatican, the final signatures dried. The humanitarian corridor was sealed, and a ceasefire held fragile as spun glass. The Vatican statement praised her tireless diplomacy. The Boston Globe ran the photo. Anna Delaney, special envoy, shaking hands with the Cardinal Secretary of State. The State Department issued a commendation, her name now etched in the quiet halls of power.
So this is what it feels like to be seen, not by blood, but by history.
A package arrived from the Vatican, small and weighty, delivered by a courier with a discreet bow. Inside lay a papal medal, gold and enamel, inscribed with a quiet thanks for saving the unsavable.
They mocked me for stamping forms. This is what I was stamping.
She stood by the window, the medal cool in her palm, the Washington Monument a needle of light in the distance. Around the world, her name was spoken in halls of power. But in this quiet room, she let the silence be her applause.
Peace was never given. It was built, negotiation by negotiation, and finally, it was mine.
Days later, Anna's phone vibrated. Anthony's name glowed, and this time, she answered with a steadier hand.
Anna? I've been thinking. I moved out. Got a small place near the water. It's quiet. I started seeing a therapist. She's helping me see how messed up things were, how I failed you.
I am glad you are getting help, Anthony. What do you want from me now?
Just a chance to earn back your trust. Slowly, no pressure. I know it'll take time.
Anna closed her eyes for a beat, then opened them with a decision.
Come to DC next weekend. There's a cafe in Georgetown. We'll sit outside, like we used to.
I'd like that. Saturday, 10 o'clock. I'll be there.
When they hung up, Anna allowed herself a real smile, tentative but unforced. The future was no longer a void. It was a thread, thin but real, stretching toward a Saturday in Georgetown. Peace was fragile. 2 days before that Saturday, Margaret landed in Washington, her desperation hardening into a plan.
Anna, please. I flew here to see you. Just give me 5 minutes.
Anna came down, the papal medal cool beneath her suit, her face a mask of unreadable calm.
I am sorry. I didn't know. I am so proud now. Please, we're family.
Anna let the words hang, then spoke with the clarity of cut stone.
You showed me who you are, Margaret. At every dinner, every holiday, every christening, I believe you. We are not family. We never were. I am done.
She turned, her heels clicking on the marble floor, the sound echoing in the hollow scream behind her. Margaret lunged for the door, but a security guard stepped forward. A wall of impassive duty. Outside on the sidewalk, she sobbed alone, the city indifferent to her collapse. Inside, Anna didn't look back. Margaret pounded the glass door, her screams muffled, her reflection a twisted mask of desperation. A security guard spoke in low, firm tones, then took her elbow and steered her away from the entrance. She crumpled onto a metal bench nearby, burying her face in her hands, the fight leaking out in ragged sobs. Inside, the elevator doors sealed Anna into a capsule of quiet, the hum of the ascending car a lullaby.
It's over. I said it. The cord is cut. I owe her nothing.
A single tear, scalding and rare, traced a path down her cheek, a silent witness to years of holding back. She brushed it away with a swift, practiced flick, an old reflex that now felt like a new resolve.
I earned this peace. Every scar, every silence. It's mine.
She straightened her suit lapel, the gold State Department pin catching the overhead light, and squared her shoulders. When the doors slid open, she walked out, chin high, gaze unbroken, the woman who had been invisible now whole. A week later, in the quiet of her apartment, Anna's phone rang with a familiar government prefix. The State Department voice was crisp. Envoy Delaney, your role is being expanded. Effective immediately. You are senior advisor for special diplomatic missions.
Thank you. I am honored to accept.
She set the phone down and picked up the Vatican medal, its weight a quiet testament.
From a paper pusher to this. If only they could see me now, but they don't deserve to.
She crossed to the window. The Washington Monument stood against the dusk, a pillar of quiet endurance. A genuine smile, faint but unforced, tugged at her lips, the smile of someone who had finally found her place. Some families are born, knit by blood and obligation. Others are chosen, forged in respect and shared strength. Anna Delaney had finally chosen herself, and that choice was the foundation of everything to come. Peace, she understood now, wasn't the absence of conflict. It was the presence of worth, earned and kept. Spring softened the morning. Anna arrived first at the cafe, choosing a table in the sun. Anthony appeared, his step lighter, a careful smile breaking through the remnants of old guilt.
You look good, Anna. Lighter, somehow.
I am. It's strange. Waking up without the weight. How's the new place?
Quiet. I am getting used to it. The therapist says I am making progress.
They talked of small things, his new apartment, her next assignment in Geneva. Not once did Margaret's name enter the space, a silent pact honored by both. When they rose to leave, Anthony hesitated, then pulled her into a tight embrace.
See you next month.
She nodded, smiling, and then walked away, her silhouette strong against the spring sun, a woman who had learned that family could be mended, but only after you mend yourself. Anna walked alone under the blush of cherry blossoms, the Capitol dome, a promise in the distance. She paused at the reflecting pool, the water mirroring sky and stone. A tourist family fumbled with their camera. The father smiled sheepishly, gesturing. Anna took the camera, lining up the shot with an ease born of years of precision.
Say, Washington.
They laughed, thanked her, and melted back into the crowd, leaving her standing in the afterglow of their joy. She turned, her steps light, the weight of the world no longer hers alone to carry. In a world that measured worth by noise, she had found her strength in silence, and in choosing herself, she had uncovered a peace no approval could grant. The sun warmed her back, and the future stretched ahead, wide and unafraid.